beer can
Greetings
keeps
and
buzzing.
welcome. Look, Joe, I know you're the special returning guest, but the intro is mine now, not yours.
Look,
So
y'all were talking, we
Hey,
were
wait,
having a
wait,
good
wait.
time. Then you bust in with greetings right when I started talking.
the
That ain't
Hold
my
intro
on,
is
fault.
hold on.
mine now, Joe. You better just
No,
sit your butt down. Let me
I
finish.
used to do a countdown when back in my day.
I
I'm
don't
just
do a
saying.
count. We do things differently here now. We're under new
Right.
management.
I mean, he's doing the editing anyway, so it's
Mm-hmm.
like it doesn't matter if there's a countdown. He's going to start it when he wants to start it anyway, really.
True.
Yeah, that's true.
Like right now, he might edit all of this out and just go, "Welcome to the Drunken Discography," or
I'll have to
whatever.
rewatch it to see if this is worth adding.
Oh, it's worth adding.
Where old friends and fans come together to BS, argue, occasionally agree, not tonight, and discuss a musical artist. Today's artist is That Dog. That Dog, a band you probably never heard of but should. With me today, he's an old timer for sure, Tim.
Oh, yeah.
He's totally crushed out, Will.
That's fair. That's fair. I will agree with that one.
And our special returning guest who retreats from the sun, Joe.
Yeah.
This bald head burns.
This is wrong? That's Jason?
All right, okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Okay.
worried. I'm worried we're gonna have some repeats this week because there wasn't a whole lot to go with.
Yeah.
So we'll
Well,
see.
we'll do what we can.
All right. Yes, we're talking That Dog, a fucking fantastic band that needs more recognition and more people need to hear. So, Joe, what is your relationship with this band?
You told me that y'all were reviewing them
Oh
this
wow!
past weekend.
You're pretty much the perfect specimen for this.
Yeah,
This
and
is
so I have never heard of that dog previous to, like I said, about 6 days ago or so.
Okay. Tim, what about you?
Well, I've got a little bit longer. I've known about this for a couple weeks now, but I didn't start listening to
Oh my
them.
God. Will, please. What about you?
no, dude. No, mine's a little bit better than this. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Here we go. Yeah. Is that it, Tim? Oh, it's my turn. Oh, Jesus.
I thought that's where you were leaving it. I was like, Will's like, mine's better than that. I'm not gonna tell you though.
I was one of those kids who had like I guess it was like the summer before 6th grade, even like it was like in between 5th and 6th grade. And I
94.
went to the store. No, it was that. Yeah, it was that. Yeah. I went to the store and I saw the DGC Rarities Volume 1 on CD. And I got it. And because it had Nirvana on it, and also had Beck on it, which really was enough for me at that point. I also kept Counting Crows on there too, I think. And I really liked August and everything after at that age. But I got that, and there was this song called Grunge Couple, and it was just unlike anything I had heard at that point in my young days. And I never bought any of their records, but I still like kept that in my mind. And then a few years later, I heard Never Say Never, and it was a really great song. I think I saw the video on MTV at some point, and I remember hearing it, but never buying the record. I'm a bad person because I like the song a lot. And then and like literally not until they released the old LP and Pitchfork Media reviewed it, I went back and oh, that's that band. And I went back and listened to all the stuff, and I was like, yeah, dude, this band's awesome. So that's how I know them. Actually, it's the first time I've heard all of Self-Titled and Crushing. Those two records, first time hearing those all the way through for this review.
Okay.
But yeah.
I got into them the same time, 1994, but I did buy the records, so I followed them through, and then they were gone. But they weren't really gone. But That Dog was gone until 2019.
Yeah. Kind of a blip on the radar, really. Like, I mean, Jesus. Yeah. Like 5 years, basically. 5 years of a band.
Yeah. But they are so freaking prolific, like, outside of That Dog. So, Joe, you are a special guest. Why don't you start us off? What is your least favorite That Dog record?
Let me tell you, this was an extremely difficult decision but there's not a lot of distance between 4 and 1 as far as my like and dislike for them. I don't have an album that I'm just like, this album is terrible, and so these are so much better. So I struggled quite a bit with this.
I'm in the same boat.
This order changed about 4 or 5 times, and I was kind of hoping one of you were going first, so I could be like, maybe you can persuade me to change my vote.
No, man. No.
But it's me. So my number 4 is Old LP. Um,
Dang.
yeah. I mean, like I said,
There's no hot takes, but I'm really curious to
1
hear.
and 4 can be the same. To me, I can almost flip them around, and
These
I
are all
have many
top 5
times.
records.
Yeah,
And you've only heard these albums in the past 6 days.
correct. So I've had one listen through to all of them. So we kind of made a fast call on it. So my thought process on it is I love the sound. I mean, it's nice and clear. Their first album, which we'll talk about a different one, I love the sound of it also for a different reason. But lots of really, really good songs on here. There's only one song that I put not a fan beside, and that's Least I Could Do, number 10. And that's the only time I use not a fan of a song on any of the albums. So this is why it's number 4, because it has one song that I didn't really care for. The rest of them I think are great. Just the way I love a countdown. Stay calm, cool, and collect. Be consistent. I haven't felt like this since 1995. I like that line considering I just listened to a 1995 album by them. So I was like, I kind of know what you felt like in 1995. So this is a good go with that. Really, really good. I love Drip Drops. I think that's a great song. If you didn't do it, I like, once again, I'm a sucker for a countdown. They've got a 5, 6, 7, 8 in there. And the sigh, there's a sigh in the middle of that song that I thought was great. I was like, this is a great place for that. Really fun bass at the end. Down Without a Fight's another really good song. It's a top song contender for me. If comedy is tragedy, timing is key. I love that line. And Old LP, the closing track, I think it's great. I love the grandness of the music. I like the overlapping vocals. There's a lot to like in that. So that's number 4.
All right. I guess I'll go next, unless we want to go Will, Tim, me.
Well, to be fair, my number 4 is the same. So
nice.
Yeah, we'll go that
might
way
work.
then.
Why'd you act like that was going to be a hot take? You're like, there's no hot takes. Same one.
Because I feel like when you're challenged, you start to argue better. That's the only reason.
I got you.
I mean, I do love this record. It's really good, but there are 2 things. No, there's just one thing about it that I didn't like, and it's the same one you didn't like. Least I Could Do. It's just such a kind of mainstream modern country pop rock song thing. It's just not. It doesn't fit in with the sound to that point of even Anna's songwriting. Even like it felt like what's the girl from 4 Non Blondes came in and helped ghostwrite it or something.
Linda Perry.
Our pal Linda Perry.
It felt like a Linda Perry, feel like an Anna Warren track, even though she has nothing to do with this song at all. It sounded like it was something that didn't fit with everything else on this record, which is beautiful. The production's fucking stellar. Just the Way is awesome. Your Machine is an opening great song. Drops is crazy good. If You Just Didn't Do It is a ripper. Everything about this album is pretty good. The last song, LLP, is just beautiful. It's silly and I like it, but like not a band. I instantly check the hell out because it is such a trope of a epic song, and it doesn't work in this song at all. That's when there are 2 songs that I don't like out of this entire discography, and one of them I actually do like. But this is the one I really, you know what I mean? And that's the thing that, other than that, this could have been, if that song went on here, it could have been number 1 or number 2 or number 3. It could have been any number because they're all great records.
If which song wasn't on there?
Least I Could Do.
Oh, okay.
It's a sore thumb, and I'm so glad Joe brought that up because that was like one real gripe about this band is this one song. Like that's it, one song.
And that's how nitpicky you have to be on picking, the 4th album. You're like, all right, so there's one bad song, we got to go there.
Yeah, this discography is amazing from beginning to end, and then at the very end, right before the very, very end, this song pops up, and you're just like, fuck. Because you're gonna have a stinker. Everybody's gonna have a stinker. It's okay. But anyway, that's it. That's why it's number 4 not 3 or 2 or 1 even for that matter.
All right, Tim, are you following that?
Okay. No, I'm not gonna follow that. I actually really liked Old LP. I'm
it's a good
gonna go
record.
with Retreat from the Sun for number 4.
Ooh,
That
And-
is a hot take, sure.
Well, and everything you guys have said is I agree with. Like all 4 of these are awesome albums. The reason why I'm gonna go with this is probably because my favorite song is gonna be on Old LP, and also because this one, it like the good songs are there, but they're a little more spread out on this one. Now I'm like in my second listen, and I definitely plan on listening to this more. But just first impression, this was the one that I'm not as excited to go back to.
That's fair.
But I will be going back to it because there was some great stuff on here. Like I really liked Did You Ever? I really liked Never Say Never. I liked Gagged and Tied.
Yeah.
Long Island was cool. But the rest of it, I haven't made up my mind yet. So
all right. Well, I'm actually going to divulge from that.
Oh wow.
I'm going Totally Crushed Out.
All right. See, this is great. I think
Again,
everybody's gonna have a different number 1 and number 2. It's gonna be wonderful.
yeah, this is still like a 10/10. I would recommend buying this record.
Mhm.
But out of these 4, this is the one I listen to the least. So, to me, it's like a blend of the first album and elements of Retreat together, and it doesn't work. Like the self-titled, they do it better there, and the poppy Retreat, they do it better there. This is just kind of mixed in. Still fucking great though. Lip Gloss.
Yeah. Awesome song.
Mrs. Wrong is dirty and poppy at the same time. See, and kind of really like the bass and Silently in the lyrics. He's Kissing Christian was the single, but
Yeah. Good video. It's fun.
yeah, I remember it, but not like I don't know. They could have picked better singles off this record, I think. Still a great fucking song though. And it kind of relatable. I kind of had that same experience in high school.
I think everybody had a crush at some point.
Oh, Christian.
Yeah.
Yeah, not saying names, but if they're watching this show, they know who they are.
Wait, but I'm on the show.
I didn't go to high school.
right, you're watching
You're
it
one of
too.
those Baymanet people. Like we didn't
That's right.
associate
B-Town, represent.
towns.
Just saying, hey, I work in an alternative school, and a lot of my students are from Bay Minette. That's all I'm saying.
Hey,
My number 3, although I really kind of want to switch it, but I'm going to leave it, is Totally Crushed Out as well. I don't know how it keeps working like that. It's a solid ass record. Like my least favorite part of the record are the first 2 songs, and then after that, it just kind of builds and builds and builds and gets better. Geez, in the back of my mind is just crazy. The 1-2 punch of Anymore and to Keep Me is just really solid. There's another 1-2 punch of She Doesn't Know in the Holidays, which is just great. Michael Jordan is the wildest use of a violin in a punk rock song I've ever heard. It is just amazing. It sounds like a post-hardcore jam, but with a violin playing a guitar part. It's just fucking amazing. And also Rockstar, it struck me because this was the first time hearing this record for me, and it reminded me of Goodbye Sky Harbor by Jimmy Eat World, which closes out their album Clarity, which came out in 99. But it starts as one thing and it just continually builds into this completely different. Goodbye Sky Harbor does that as well, and I wonder if they were influenced by this song, because this song does a lot of the same things in just a different way, in a much shorter way as well, much more brevity to it, which is thankful for the most
Well,
part.
it's possible that they did because some of the members of that dog worked with Jimmy Eat World. If I
After the fact, I think Rachel sang backup vocals on Bleed American. I think I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
I just learned that today. I didn't know that either.
literally
Yeah,
just
this was a great Wikipedia dive.
So I didn't have time to dive into Wikipedia, and I wish I had now.
Oh,
Oh,
the
yeah,
Hayden
it's-
sisters
oh,
are
yeah.
like all over the place.
Yeah. Well, like I know Tim's taste a lot, and when I found out that Anna was married to a guy that was in Red Cross and the Melvins for a minute, I was like, "Oh, Tim's
Shout out, Steve.
that's awesome."
Yeah.
Yeah, Anna's prolific as hell too. Like the Yellow
Yes.
Jackets theme song is so good.
Mhm.
You can hear
Well,
that
and she
dog.
wrote a song on a Melvins album.
Oh.
So yeah, no, there's like this whole discography filled in a whole bunch of puzzle pieces for me and a bunch of stuff that I
the
do like.
Rentals,
It's beautiful.
Green Day, the
I
Foo
saw Imperial
Fighters,
Tea
Yeah.
mentioned here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beck, Weezer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody here is everybody. Like one of the sisters is married to Jack Black apparently. Even like that's just and Jack Black's in the video for one of the singles they did for Old, but it was a comedy.
Yeah. The
Funny or
Three's
Bad
Company thing. Yep.
Yeah.
Maya Rudolph's involved here as well.
Yeah. She
Super
played
cool.
keyboards in
Really?
the Rentals, which
Yeah.
was that
I
dog.
saw her Prince cover band, Princess, and it was an awesome show. It was fantastic.
That sounds amazing.
It
Yeah,
was.
apparently.
Yeah, look up like YouTube.
Do,
Maya Rudolph's Princess is a party that you want to go to.
Yeah, when this band did their reunion show, apparently Maya Rudolph's Prince Project covered Purple Rain in its entirety opener. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, it's just awesome, man.
Fantastic musicians.
Yep.
Oh yeah, everybody. Yeah.
Well, Tim, what is your number 3?
Well, I think I'm gonna go with Old LP. I really liked this album a lot. Like I said, I think my favorite song is on here because I think the hype, like, there was a point on this album that just like my attention was not getting diverted. But we'll get into that in a later episode.
I bet that one's across all 4 boards.
Okay, well, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Petra is missed though. Like the violin is missed, but I really like the orchestration on here that they're kind of replacing her with.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, this album sucks, because Petra's not there or whatever. But the violin and the vocals that she provided on the other 3 albums, I think really brought something to this band. Now, I think the songwriting on Old LP is fantastic. Just the Way, that was the name of the song with the Three's Company video with Jack Black.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great video. It did kind of, you guys were right earlier, though. It does kind of peter out at the end and kind of lose a little interest. The last song, though, the title track, is really cool. And I did watch a cool making of video that they throw on like old Charlie Hayden records and Minnie Riperton records and stuff. And I thought that was really cool. So, fantastic album. Fantastic band. Real tough to choose here.
All right. I'm going to follow right behind you with Old LP. I was actually like looking forward to this. Like when I heard about it, I think this was like hype record.
Sure.
And it didn't disappoint. 22 years is a fucking hell of a gap.
Oh, it's an amazing record.
Do
we know why Petra's not involved?
It's probably just scheduling. Like she's busy.
Okay. She's been in a lot of big acts since that dog kind of dissolved. So
okay.
I'm not 100% sure on that. I don't know why she's not there, but I'd assume it's just scheduling. But yeah, Your Machine is like, it was like hearing an old friend. Like this album, it was great fucking album. But it has to go number 3 because I like 2 more.
Yeah. Totally fair.
But I'll talk about that later in a different video.
And since nobody else is, I just want to say I forgot to mention that "Bird on a Wire" rips me to shreds. I'm at that age now where I'm also doing a lot of self-examination and all that kind of stuff, and I'm just like, that song rules. And we're not going to talk about that record after this, so yeah, I'm going to bring it up.
Bird on a Wire. My lyrics like shows Anna's lyrics have grown up. Like the lyrics on that song are so fucking good.
Mm.
But I still like 2 and 1 better. So I like all these fucking records.
Yeah, no,
Bird on the Wire is one of them I wrote lyrics to. I keep turning the dial, but the tape is stuck in reverse. It's taking a while, but it's only getting worse. I was like, that's great stuff.
Yep.
Yep.
What's your number 3, Joe?
My number 3 is Retreat from the Sun. And the reasoning behind that is because this has more, as I go through and look at my ranking of songs of like good, pretty good, okay, things that there's more okay here than there's good or great, things of that nature. So that's really where I fell at. Once again, great album. This is not a bad album by any means. Somebody's got to be in number 3, and this is kind of the one I picked. But Never Say Never is great. I'm Going to See You. I love that. I'm going to see you when you're uptight. I'm going to see you when you're boring line in there. That was really good. Gagnetide's a fun song. That's not the one. That's Retreat from the Sun. I think it's a fun little poppy song. That was good. I Love Minneapolis. That's one of my top song contenders was. The Jabberjaw reference from the LA music venue. I love a good reference from about, especially that. Now, I don't know who in hell Low is. I never listened to him. Any of y'all listen to Low or know who that is?
Low?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't know that had anything to do with Low. Yeah. But
yeah,
Low
they reference Low.
Okay, Low. I respect the shit out of Low. I can't say I'm a huge fan of them, but like they put out some good jams, dude, for real.
Annie's good. Long Island, another great song. Hawthorne, I thought was just okay. Did You Ever is really good. Cowboy Hat's really good. Until the Day I Die is one of those I could quote almost all the song. The only part I wrote down here is I've never given back to you all the pain you've put me through, all the shame you've put me through. But I thought that was a great closing track for them. Great album. Just there's a few okays in there more than anybody else. So we hit number 3.
All right. Tim, I guess you go number 2.
Okay. Man, I really liked this album. Really liked this album. I really liked all 4 of these.
I just want to say there's one album that nobody's picked yet at all, so don't ruin it. We might have a 4-way winner. Just saying.
And let Tim just stab you in the back immediately.
He does this to me every
Maybe.
time.
Well, yeah, I think I'm about to.
It depends on where you put it.
Joe can have the opinion as Tim on this. It's universal. Okay.
I think I gotta go with the self-titled.
Okay.
Tim.
Amazing album. Really loved it. I'll get
Combo
into
break,
why
by
it's
the way.
number. I'll get
He
into
does it
number
every
1
time.
when I get into number 1 because I think the songwriting's just a little better and I like the whole concept of it.
Fair.
But I really like the production on this one, and I like almost every song is just a classic. Speaking of references, I caught a Z Channel reference in West Side Angst. If you haven't seen that documentary, I highly recommend it. Paid programming, of course, more references. Just Like Me has got that really cool Peter Gunn riff at the end that they're just like riding into the sunset. Old timer, like I believe that's me, right?
It's all of us, friend.
Yeah.
My note there is I feel personally attacked by this song.
Yeah.
I did.
Love this album though. I'm so it does kind of sound like 1993 though.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
In a good way.
Yeah,
in a good way.
In a good way, and it also, it sounds like an album that was recorded on the cheap. I did look it up. This album was partially recorded at a place called Poop Alley, so I want to record there. No, just it's a great album. It's a great album.
Think about this though. This came out in 1993. This predates Beck's Mellow Gold.
Sure, but it does not.
I don't hear any Beck Mellow Gold on this record though, so I don't know. I don't understand the comparison.
You don't compare That Dog and Beck, like just the songwriting, the lyrics.
No, not at all. I compare.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a lot better than Beck personally.
I like Beck. Don't get me wrong. I like Beck, but this sounds more to me.
I have nothing against it, but I would take this over it.
Like the off the wall lyrics.
They're not that off the wall. They're kind of mundane, really.
Zodiac.
Well, that's more of a
tell me that.
Love that
song. But that could have been a Beck song. That could have been a Beck song. Is all I'm saying. Lyrically,
like he was ahead of his time.
That's all I'm saying. Beck kind of took from That Dog a little bit.
I mean, sure.
I think a lot of people took from That Dog.
So Joey
that's my closing
is the drummer for Beck, so yeah, for sure. There's a lot of influence.
Okay, well let me put it this way: how did Loser get huge, but something like Old Timer didn't?
Well, let's ask fans of Disturbed or
yeah.
No, dude, to be real, Brides or you know, like there's a lot of crap out there that people love.
I mean,
Loser's not.
I'm not going to go where Tim's going with
it's
it.
Not crap, but
back to crap, but
it's not.
I would say, like Beck, like the beat is so important, and there's not a whole lot of beats on this record that are important.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I don't understand how this band didn't get fucking huge. Is what my whole point.
I don't either. I agree with you there.
100%. What else you got, Tim? It sounds like 1993. Did you have any more to add?
I love it. It's great. I can't wait to listen to it again.
Yeah, same. Does that mean I'm next?
No, Jason.
No, it's me. I'm next.
Okay. I'm never going to figure this out.
We're going up.
You're after me.
Yeah. I'm going Retreat from the Sun.
All right. Okay. All right.
This was...
We could have had it all the same one, Jason. You ruined it.
No, I didn't. Retreat's already been played twice. Once by you, bitch.
It was never going to be the same number one, unfortunately.
It could have been.
Well, I was saying number two. We could have all had the same number two.
It depended. It hinged on Tim's number two, and unfortunately,
yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. So I love this record again, but it is super poppy here and there. But it's still That Dog. It still has That Dog. Gagged and Tied. I love every facet of that song. Annie almost sounds like it's from the first album. It's so fucking good. Long Island, really fucking good lyrics. Super sweet. You know, I want to set a place for you at my table. We can sit forever watching reruns on cable. Never Say Never was a single, and I remember the video and all that shit. Hawthorne, Did You Ever? This shit predates Blink-182 on MTV. How did they not get fucking big? How did all the small things get big?
Timing.
Anyway.
It predates the Anniversary. It predates like any number of like bands that I feel like Anniversary ripped off that record a lot personally.
I think a lot of people ripped this record off. Anyway, this was... I love this record. I had the CD. I had the poster of That Dog on my wall. Great album. But there's still one more better.
Okay.
Now
it's me.
Joke time.
Yep.
Joke time.
So my number two, we could have all been the same, is also going to be self-titled.
So close.
Yeah,
you
close.
Fuckers. Fuck y'all.
An amazing
We'll
album. I love the sound. of this album. Will's gonna be with us.
I know he is. That's why I said he sees it. He's gonna say, "I'm the one that's fucking
Yeah, yeah,
wrong."
we know.
Right?
No.
Right?
Oh, there is
Nope.
no wrong.
Well,
For all
there
we
is.
wonders.
I think we're going into a doubleheader death match here.
That's right.
Yeah.
So love this album. I love the sound of it. I think it's great. Um, there, to distinguish this one between 1 and 2 is very tough. Really, I went to which one of these albums am I going to go back to the most often in my mind, and so that's what ended up number 1. So it was really hard to scale these. I love Old Timer. I love the feedback into the bass start. I think that's a really cool start for it. I do feel personally attacked. They were talking about a man at a buffet line getting more than one plate. Talking about someone's feet who are achy. Got your chili. Don't forget your cornbread. I was like, I always eat cornbread with my chilies. You were talking about me. So that was good. Jump, I thought was okay. The thing that kept popping in my head was what someone told me years ago in JRTC is you shouldn't have to ask how high to jump. You should already know that. You should need to ask how long do I need to jump for. Reina, I like it a lot. I especially love that uptick in the music toward the middle / end. You're Here, it kept making me think about Something in the Way from Nirvana. Every time there was something in the way, I was like, man, that to me feels like a Nirvana a lot. Obviously, name of their song. But Just Like Me, fine. I think it's good. I like the instrumental there. I didn't mind the short lyrics. She's really good. Angel. There are 2 minutes or so of instrumentals and them going at the end that kind of I didn't love. I like that song. I just don't necessarily love that part. Let's see, West Side Angels. So I remember you were talking about them bringing up something, but I remember when your cable company would change channels on you quite often.
Yeah.
And so they were like, how could you change my MTV to channel 12 to 24? So I was like, man, that hits there.
You can see Anna like up at night, and they're doing this shit, and she's like, "You motherfuckers!" And you could just see like the thought process and how that song formed.
You sons of bitches. She looks at me. Is fine. The song's fine. The Showing Me the Place Underneath My Bed reminds me a little bit of Little Monsters with Howie Mandel. That's the first thing that popped in my mind with it.
That one.
Yeah,
I like that one.
I like Punk Rock Girl. I think that's great. Really good song there. Zodiac, I thought that was a real fun song. I love the 900 number reference. I thought that was a good one. Family Functions, top song contender. That one was awesome. It's Not Every Boy That Brings Me a Broken Arrow. It's Not Every Boy That Brings Me a Bottle of Rain. I like the drums when they get into listing of family members. I think that's really good. She Looks at Me reprise. So y'all remember that movie Little Monsters with Fred Savage? That's what it reminded me of. Paid Programming, great. That was another one of my top song contenders. I like the Vacuuming Hair Machine. I like talking about Richard Simmons and Cher doing their hair.
Yeah.
I thought those were great. Now, so I was in homeschooling in 5th grade and 7th grade, and I stayed up very late watching television. And paid programming kept coming on. So I love this is a big nostalgia ride for me. This Boy, I like the change of slow to a scream. So great album. I think it's amazing. Could be number 1 on any given day.
Word. Well, I guess I'll continue stabbing Jason's heart and by putting the self-titled as my number 2 as well. Look, man, we're talking. If any of us put this at number 4, I would understand your heartache. I would, but dude, come on, it's a beautiful.
I was thinking that this was the one time we'd have a clean sweep of all the same number 1. That's all I was thinking.
Yeah, man. See, I feel like this band is so good that you're going to have to pick and choose based on your vibe almost as to which is your best record. And dude, I love this record. Don't get me wrong. My vibe goes a little bit more hard pop than this record, than indie bedroom pop, and I do love this. I mean, it's number 2. It's not a bad fucking record. It's fucking amazing. Like Old Timer, like when it started, I was like, okay, this is kind of, whoa, hey, the chorus happens. That is not what I was expecting at all. And I love that. And then it's followed by Jump, Reina, and You Are Here, which are just 3 gorgeous ass songs. I didn't particularly care for Just Like Me, but that's okay. It was still a good song. But the one thing that this album made me think about was that a lot of the bands of this era were doing the quiet loud dynamics. Like that was just a part of the early 90s sound, especially with alt rock or grunge or whatever, was quiet verse, loud chorus. And I thought that's hearing Old Timer, I was like, that's the way this record's going to go. But then holy shit, they do something different. They do dynamics with that as well, but they also do a discord to harmony thing where like the verse is discordant and weird and kind of creepy, but then like this soaring, majestic fucking chorus happens, and it's just like you feel your soul lifting out of your body a little bit. Like it's just amazing songwriting. It's got punk, grunge, some gorgeous chamber music, and then like heartfelt bedroom indie pop, all mixed with discordant darkness and like a shimmering sunshine kind of thing going on, all simultaneously. It is a beautiful fucking record. I just like one better than this one.
I want to hear your defense for your first one sound better than how you just described that one.
I mean, that was
that really fucking well.
Yeah, that should have been the back of the album.
All right, so that record got one paragraph. That record got one paragraph. I've got at least 3 or 4 about my number one. So yeah.
I mean, I applaud you for that.
It's your number 2, so I don't want to. We can't argue here.
Unfortunately, though, I believe our overlords Google.
Yeah, it's time for an ad.
We got to cut to a commercial break, so we're going to
do
that.
I hope it's something with Fred Savage.
We're not being monetized, right? Can we skip the ad break and just put the Rentals Friend of P video for our ad break?
No, I'm starting to get copyright strikes. I got to be careful with that.
Oh, okay. All right.
One of them I had to change. I can't remember which one it was.
But Friends of P, go listen to that song. It's awesome.
Yeah, we could put it on the playlist. I think a trailer for Little Monsters would be perfect.
That is good.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah.
So I saw that opportunity for the reprise to me. Mitch bring it up again. I was like, gotta take it. Gotta have it.
Golf clap. It's time to do a golf clap.
Yeah.
It's allowed.
Thank you. I'm golf clapping.
So we will see you after our sponsors, Fred Savage and Howie Mandel.
Ever wonder why kids get blamed for everything just because their parents can't explain it?
I didn't do anything.
You're dead, mister.
The reason's right under your bed.
Hey, bud, the name's Maurice, and I'll catch you later. What goes on down there is every kid's fantasy. It's magic. Think of it, Bri. No teachers, no rules, no homework. And the best part is, you don't see any parents telling the kids what they can't eat. We're the reason kids get locked in their rooms. We're the reason brothers hate their sisters. We're also the reason that parents send their kids back to camp.
Little Monster. Fred Savage. Howie Mandel. They act up when the sun goes down.
Welcome back from that commercial. We're all big fans of Howie Mandel here on this show. So who goes? Fuck, I go first.
It's you.
All right.
I wonder which one he's going to pick.
Know. I mean, it's fair. We all know what you're going to pick. And we just talk about it.
We all know everyone's pick.
You don't know mine.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do.
We just don't.
I want to hear you defend it over. Anyway, we'll get to that.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck out of this shit. We'll get to it, man. Don't worry.
I love this record. I even got the Buy Me Flowers single.
Nice.
It's noisy, it's chaotic, but it's also beautiful and serene. The opening Old Timer sets the mood. It's got soft spots, it's got loud parts, it's got swinging parts. It's fucking great. When I say jump, he says how high. It's so simple, but it's beautiful. Raina is fun. You Are Here's, it's okay. It's okay. It's long, doesn't really go anywhere, but the strings on it, holy shit, they're fantastic. Some of the best on the album. I love Just Like Me. The vocal delivery is amazing. The random laughing and craziness at the end is fucking fantastic. Love that song. Angel, tell me that song didn't fucking inspire Weezer's Undone. Dude,
Totally.
it is fucking...
Yeah?
They changed
It
like
totally
one
did.
note.
Yeah.
West Side Angst is short and dumb and fun as hell. Love it. She looks so pretty. The vocals are amazing. The lyrics are sweet. The strings are gorgeous. Punk Rock Girl, so fucking good. The harmonies on it, they're like up there with like Nina and Louise and fucking Mark and
No,
Tom. Like
no,
the
no.
harmonies are so fucking good.
The harmonies on all of these records are better than all of those bands' harmonies for sure. I will say that.
Zodiac is fucking great. Top song contender. Family functions and she looks at me. Reprise are great. The name drops and paid programming. I like to see Cher doing her hair on air, and I like to see Richard Simmons dealing a meal and helping to heal. I remember paid programming helping me to sleep at night. Like old timer, kind of goes in with it. This boy closes the record in the same way it opened. It's noisy, it's chaotic, and it's beautiful and it's serene, and I fucking love that record.
Okay, well, I will add, and I think I should go next just because Tim and Joe are going to have the same number.
Yeah.
Number one.
Okay. Fine.
But I will add this. If we were reviewing the deluxe edition of the self-titled record, it might go above and beyond. I will say that. Because that one's going to have Grunge Couple, and it's got 4 or 5 other songs that aren't
Buy
on.
Me Flowers, Untitled.
Yeah. It's got all of those songs on there, and that makes it a better record, in my opinion, than my number one, which is Retreat from the Sun. And y'all are fucked up not putting this shit at number one. What's wrong with y'all? What's wrong with y'all?
What do you mean, what's wrong with us?
I don't know if we got a 3-way slap now. That's more of a...
No, look, I just feel like I'm the one that put it above everybody else. I have to defend it a little bit more, I suppose.
I
But
think so, yeah.
like,
Especially
my only
with Tim.
two criticisms about this record. That is it. Everything else is flawless.
That
solid.
is the one that actually hit all 4 spots, though.
Yeah, it did.
Oh, yeah.
It's debatable for sure.
Yeah, this one's clearly all over the place.
I feel like if they would have opened with Never Say Never and then went into I'm Gonna See You, it would have been a much better just entrance to the record. But that's my only one of the critiques. The other one's not so much a critique on them as it is on the band Lifehouse. There's a song on this record called
that's a pull.
It's called Minneapolis, and it is the exact same chord progression and dynamics as a song by Lifehouse called I'm Falling Even More in Love with You. But here's the thing, that song came out in like 2002 or 2001. They ripped off Minneapolis almost note for note. And I would like to say, fuck you, Lifehouse, and your stupid Christian rock. Go fuck yourself. You suck.
Will, how do you know that Lifehouse stole this progression? I didn't remember.
It is.
I would never remember
let's ask
Lifehouse in my
Sheeran.
entire life.
When I heard, look, all right, I worked at CD Warehouse, and we had to listen to TK 101, and this was in the early aughts, and literally this song would come on every day.
Wait. I worked at CD Warehouse. I worked at CD House, and that was like the one thing.
No, it was like 2002, 2003, I think, were the years I was working.
He didn't let y'all play your own music?
No.
Wow.
I mean, we did.
You were not playing good music then, apparently.
Here's the thing. We did hook up the 5-disc player to. We literally pick it up and move it behind the desk and put it on our CDs. But he would get mad at us when we did that. He wanted us to listen to the radio. He was promoting records he could sell, not music we listened to.
Shout out Jonathan at CD Warehouse.
Yeah. I'm not going to go any further than that. And that's for my own benefit and for everyone else's benefit. But yeah, anyway, that song, like the chord progression, the chorus, it is the same fucking song. They some record producer who was producing the Lifehouse record knew this song and was like, y'all should do this instead. And that's how it happened. It's okay. They weren't as good as Creed, and that's okay. It's fine. As far as Christian rock goes, Chris Caraba's better even.
I think Christian rock's allowed to like rip off shit because that's what they do. Like there's like Finding
as long
like
as they
Finding
keep it
Jesus
their...
movies, they always rip stuff off.
Yeah, but Jason, it's good if they keep it to their own churches where I don't have to hear it. When it's on the radio, it's a different.
Jesus got milk.
I'm allowed to talk shit if it's on the radio, man. For real.
That's true.
And God bless us if we ever do Creed. We're all in trouble, but we might have to because
Human Clay is not a terrible album. It's not a good album. It's
not
a terrible album.
Human Clay is not a terrible album. It's not a good album.
It is. Dude, it's
just bad.
It's
not
horrible.
It's not good.
Terrible, Joe.
It's horrible.
We all heard Bob Seger. We don't need to hear that with Jesus Ethics. It's just
Yeah.
nonsensical. I'm just hating. I don't even mean
I
that.
don't.
I don't even mean to
Stay
associate.
tuned.
I don't
Stay
have a
tuned.
hill to die on with Creed.
April 2024. April 1st, we're covering Creed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and I understand that this
Stay
is this is basically a solo record that has become a That Dog record due to label influence kind of thing. I get that because there's a lot less strings on it, but the songs that have them are amazing. Dude, Gagged and Tied is I looked at the credits for this record, and that's basically one of two songs that isn't completely written by Anna, and it is fire as all hell. Like that song rules. It sounds like the best That Dog song ever, in my opinion. It's a really good song. I just don't know, man. This one just hits me song after song after song. It just rocks my world, and I love it very much, and that's why it's my number one.
All right. I think you defended the first album more better.
I did too.
Okay, well, all right then, fine. Long Highland is so fucking good.
What?
It sounds better than any other song I've ever heard. Like, it's got a good chord progression. It just happens to happen after some other songs that I like a lot more. I even liked Hawthorne. I thought it was great. I know some people didn't like that much, but I thought it was amazing. Cowboy Hat is so sweet and lovely, and Until the Day I Die is the best closer of any record this band put out, and I will argue to the death about that. It is the best closer for sure.
All right.
What else? What can I go?
No, I'm just saying. I was just
I'm gonna
making
keep
a
going.
crack
No,
that,
I'm gonna keep going.
we could have been on the same.
You're eating in my time now, Will.
Yeah, I was just saying we could have matched up at the end. Is all I'm saying.
Well, I felt that I had to give it criticism because it's my number one. I feel like if you're going to be on number one, you should have
Look.
more criticism than your number four.
Joe and Tim have the same number one, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
y'all go, man. Y'all go.
I've got a criticism on my number one.
See,
So number one, obviously, totally crushed out. I like Jason. You said it, I think, best. This is a very much of a gap between their first album and their third album as far as their sound and how poppy they became. And I think it is a perfect blend of those two. Mrs. Wrong is just a great opener. What a really good opener for it. If I didn't feel so wrong, you'd be my Mr. Right. And I love the dad joke in there. So he said, "Are you a teepee or a wigwam?" So he thinks I'm just too tense. I love that. It's great. I was like, but we need one of those. Silently, I love the start and the end of that song a whole lot. That's my only note. I have no idea why. He's kissing Christian. I like it. It makes a lot of sense to me that was the radio single or one of the radio singles for it. It's very upbeat and catchy for that. Like I said, we all had a Christian. They may or may not have been named Christian. Anymore, I really like the
three. Named Joe.
Could have been named Joe. I could have had a crush named Joe. Yeah.
better Joe Christian than Christian Joe, I guess.
That's right. I thought of the same. To Keep Me's good. Lip Gloss, amazing song. I kept thinking of Molly Lips once again with a little Nirvana-ish in there. She Doesn't Know How, amazing. Holidays, really, really. This always happens to me, Jules, and I feel happy they go internal me again. Side part. I think that I could hear an argument about how repetitive that song is. I think they just pull it off really well. I think the repetitiveness works really well in that song. Really good for me. One Summer Night. It's good. There's a really weird part in here where it says he threw his thongs at my window. And I don't know if I need to take that literally or if there's something I'm missing with thongs.
He threw his thongs.
That could be flip flops.
It's a concept. It's a loose concept record that tells a story.
I would say a lot of people refer to flip flops as thongs. They're probably talking about flip flops.
I'm more into that. That makes me feel a little better there.
I don't know because like I said, it's a concept record that tells a story, a loose story, and
yeah.
I'll stop. I'll let Tim because I bet Tim picked up on it.
Yeah, if you're throwing thongs at a 14-year-old girl's window, we got an issue. That's all we're saying.
That's
Here.
why I'm thinking sandals.
I'm hoping so. That's where I'm
Yeah.
hoping.
It's California.
Michael Jordan, I really like the song. To me, it's weird that you have a song called Michael Jordan and you're talking about how easily he gives up.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we're in that period where he quit the NBA, he went to minor league baseball, and he quit minor league baseball and went back to the NBA.
Yeah,
But
you're right.
winning championships in the NBA, so maybe there's something, I don't know, that maybe that's what it is. Still really like the song. So here's my one critique. Rockstar is not my favorite closing track of theirs.
Agreed.
I think it's an okay song. It's fine, but the weird dance music and xylophone toward the middle end just didn't do it for me. Then there's some strings and tambourine, and what it really reminded me of is like that time Everclear found a keyboard at the Goodwill and decided they need to bring it and play it.
That was a dark time.
Oh, I learned. Dun, 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 dun.
As a They Might Be Giants fan, I appreciated all of those weird quirks they did because it reminded me of They Might Be Giants a little bit.
And they do it at another point. They do it at different songs later, and I think they do it very well. At this point, where it's just like the song is essentially over, and we are just now making a lot of noise, and it's not like a lot of good noise. It's not terrible. It's not like it hurt my ears to listen to it or anything. It was just like this could be better. So that's my one critique of that number one. But once again, I had to sit here and go, let's change these 4 or 5 times around in whatever order they are. And I was like, all right, at the end of the day, which one of these are you going back to the soonest? And I think it is totally crushed out.
I will say, Rockstar, my note says, has some crazy harmonies, but it's long, doesn't really go anywhere. The crazy fast parts aren't that crazy and fast or last as long as they could, so kind of lines up. I agree with you. It's not their best closer.
No.
I have more thoughts on that, but I want to hear what Tim has to say about the record first.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. The second half.
Wrap it up. We're done.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think the B-side of this album is just incredible. It's just banger after banger. And yeah, what came down to my ranking and between this and the first album, which is just as good. I think this one, obviously the production's a little better because they actually do have some DGC money behind them.
Poop Dog or Poop Alley.
Well, they did do Poop Alley on this one as well. This is our last trip to Poop Alley, so we still retain that special je ne sais quoi of the first album. But yeah, you also have that DGC money, and so the production's better. And I kind of love the fact that it's this weird concept record, based on just being totally crushed out, and it works really well. And I think it's I know you guys musically were talking about how it was kind of a bridge between the first and the third album, but I think vocally it's also the most focused. I think the first album and the third album, they both kind of have they got the punker, then they got the moody one, then they got the punker, then they got the moody one, where this one is just kind of, I mean, they do it a little bit here too, but it's all within the context of this concept. But having said that, the album I'm seriously most excited to listen to out of all of this is apparently Petra Hayden did an a cappella version of the Who's Sell Out.
Yeah,
that I cannot wait to listen to. I've got it up on the phone now. It's happening. Because I love the Who Sell Out. I think that's one of the best albums ever recorded in the last 60 years. And yeah, I don't know. Totally Crushed Out is just it's a lot of fun. And in going through for the next episode where we choose the top songs, this one had the most contenders, so it had to be the number one.
All right. I think we're all going to have some interesting top 5 for sure.
Oh yeah, if there's not crossover, We didn't all
There
have
will-
we didn't all have the same number one here. I think we should have all the same number one top song.
Yeah, I think you guys have all
Maybe.
talked about my top 5 songs as contenders.
Yeah,
So
there might be some
Yeah,
crossover, but
Mhm.
my bottom 4 will be negotiable because I've got a big list of top songs, but my number 1 will be my number 1 no matter what.
nice.
mine too. So that has been our rankings of the studio albums of That Dog. Please reach out to anybody who worked at Poop Studios. that
Poop
worked-
Alley.
Poop Alley. They can. We would love to have them on the show to talk about recording That Dog. All that stuff. So Poop Alley hashtag.
Yeah.
Um,
Or if you want to sponsor us,
Yep.
we'd love that. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Please
Yeah.
subscribe, like, share the video. Go to our Patreon, click the links, Facebook. We're all.
Get us in
we're
the
everywhere.
Discord. We're there lurking.
Yes, always come to the Discord. Will.
I show up now occasionally.
If you show up as much as I do, you don't show up much.
No, you show up more than
Yeah, you show up more than he does.
Oh my.
Oh, okay.
So, and I've been gone for a while. Do you not? We not do closing arguments, or is that coming? I'm jumping the gun.
Well, I will say this
You're jumping the gun.
because no. This is like some pro shit about what's going on in the punk scene right now. Rockstar, the song lyrically, it's like a sweet and cute kind of like admiration song for these people, men. And there are people who use the name legitimately with all seriousness, Justin of Anti-Flag, who have popped up in the news recently as being really shitty fucking people who take advantage of girls with that same feeling and respect and admiration for musical artists. And I just want to say, fuck you, Justin Sane, and fuck anyone who takes advantage of women with their power and status. You guys are pieces of shit, and I hope you guys suffer the worst possible pounding in jail at some point in your lifetime. Thanks. There we go. That's all I had to say.
ODD cares.
That's right.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I mean, fucking, we're reviewing That Dog. Like,
Yeah.
the sentiments there. Final thoughts on That Dog.
Dope as shit. They deserve to be way more cachet in the social and sphere of influence all around the world. They are amazing, and I wish more people bought their records.
Yeah, I'm really glad that we went through this discography, especially being one of the newbies, one of the newer bees. I really enjoyed all 4 of these albums. I absolutely plan on looking into not only the Petra Hayden Sings the Who Sell Out, but all kinds of
stuff.
Yeah, a whole bunch of other stuff here. So, yeah, as I alluded to earlier, I've got like this puzzle of the music that I'm aware of, and it's constantly missing pieces because I'm not aware of everything. And this filled in so many puzzle pieces for me. Yeah, I got to be in the mood for it. I don't think that I could play this all day, every day. But when I'm in the mood for it, it's going to get played a lot.
And yeah, I'm in the same boat. It was a real treat to do this episode with you being guest because I'd never listened to That Dog. And then listening to them, I'm like, these are 4 great albums. I was like, there's nothing here bad. I mean, these are amazing.
Yeah.
So it was a really, really nice to hear them. And one of my biggest takeaways is I can hear a lot of influence from I can hear where other people are influenced by this band.
Yeah.
Whereas, so much so that they've taken the same melody and the same words a lot of times, I feel like, in the future. Because I kept listening and I was like, man, I've heard this before. And I was like, oh, yeah, this person kind of stole this line from you or stole how you sang this line. So it was really neat to hear that influence from them. I'm going to call it influence just to be nice. It may be just straight up theft. But no, it was really good. And like you, Tim, I have a very wide range of music that I listen to. And there are many holes that obviously That Dog fell into.
Yeah, nice.
Well, I'm just glad that I made 3 new That Dog fans in the last week. I'm happy.
100%.
More people need to listen to this fucking band because they are
Mhm.
amazing, and they filled a hole. It wasn't really a hole, but like that Sonic Youth back early '90s. Like this is just right up my alley. Like this
Well,
is
and it even kind of really reminded me of more of a late '90s, you remember that movie Jawbreaker?
yeah.
Um, I know, the whole world just kind of went through a whole Barbie revolution here in America, but 25 years ago, it was Jawbreaker was what that was, and this fit very nicely into that whole scene for me. Kind of gave me those vibes,
Yeah.
For me, it's just nice to hear a band that is very punk rock in their philosophy and theory, I guess, and culture,
and
but also
competent musicians.
and very but also like with a good grasp of good pop music on top of that. Like I feel like that's like we have pop punk, yeah, but it's kind of repetitive and the same over and over again. Real pop music is revolutionary and
Right.
evolutionary and changes. And this band could literally put out a record 20 years from now and still sound fresh and vital.
Yeah. Old LP sounds fresh and
Yeah,
vital.
it's
Sounds
amazing.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear them. I want them to get the ODD effect and put out another album here soon.
And hey, Anna, Petra, Rachel, whoever, come hang out with us and talk to us about your records. That would be amazing.
Yeah. Especially the artwork.
Especially the artwork.
Mm-hmm.
And with that,
Check out that episode if you haven't already.
subscribe, hit the bell, so you can find out when we talk about the artwork, which should be interesting because there's only 4 of them.
We still got top songs to do too.
Yeah, and our top songs. So
Come
with
see
that,
us.
be safe and make good decisions.
Or don't.
Definitely do.